You know what Pastor Tim's nickname is?
Preach! Don't preach, preachy boy!
Pastor Tim's nickname?
Well, of course. The Pastor of Disaster.
Pastor Disaster.
Okay, cool.
Pastor Disaster.
Pastor of Disaster.
Excellent.
No.
If you were to give him a nickname, what would it be?
Bill.
Bill? If Pastor Tim was an animal, which one would he be?
Probably a bird, because he tends to talk a lot. No offense.
My dog.
A toucan, because he's bright and colorful, funny person with those big beaks and stuff. Yeah.
An elephant.
Why?
Just because it's random, and he's random and funny.
A zebra.
Why?
Zebra.
A what?
Zebra.
Go.
I'm standing here in Tim Davis's backyard. We've just unveiled his race car for the next season at the racetrack. I wonder if this is why he reminds so many of the youth of a zebra.
What's Pastor Tim's favorite color?
Like a pumpkin. It's orange.
Yellow? Well, it's orange. You all are wearing orange, so I can probably tell that it's orange.
Orange, like my hair.
Pastor Tim's favorite color is orange.
Green.
Excellent. If you had to play the trust game with, you know that game where you stand up and then you let yourself fall backwards? Who would you want to be catching you?
Well, not Pastor Tim.
Why do you like Pastor Tim?
Because he makes me laugh. Like, when I first came here, he was, like, really, really funny. And I like that about pastors. Like, it just makes me feel like I'm at home and relaxed.
We decided to canvass the neighborhood where Pastor Tim lived to see what some of the neighbors think about this fellow. Ah, this looks like a good house. Let's go up here. All right, let's go up here and see what these people think and if they even know who Pastor Tim is.
Hello!
Hello, hi, my name's Wendy and I'm just canvassing the neighborhood to see who knows and what people think of Pastor Tim. Do you know Pastor Tim?
We do know Pastor Tim.
You do, okay. Could you tell us what you feel Tim's best asset is?
Oh, that's easy. Susan!
That's great. So we are in Barry and Lori Greening's home, and they are neighbors of Tim. And I guess I'd like to ask you guys what you appreciate about Tim, what you think makes Tim stand out from other people.
I think for us, what we appreciate the most is the friendliness. How we've lived here 9 years now, and when we moved in, Tim and Susan were instrumental in making us feel that this could be our home. It was a tough move for me, and they were definitely a real bright light for us. They are our neighbors by God's design, and they are what we would consider one of the greatest blessings in our life.
So Barry, your wife has said that welcoming you to the neighborhood, do you remember your welcome from Tim?
I do remember. Tim and Susan came over and spent some time with us shortly after we moved here. Tim was gracious enough to bless us with some stories and familiarize us with the neighborhood. There's some things that were new to us. The idea of septic fields in the middle of a city was brand new. He was quite
Eloquent?
eloquent, yes, in his description of how easy these things were and to maintain and deal with. And sometimes things happen and you might end up with 2 or 3 feet of stuff in your backyard. He was familiarizing us with the neighborhood, the fact that there's a penitentiary just down the road, that nothing really serious or bad ever happened. You know, it's quiet, but occasionally people might be trying to leave.
Making you feel very comfortable here.
Very comfortable. talked about the wildlife. If we heard some strange sounds in the neighborhood, that it could be a cougar. Really putting us at ease, but really encouraging us not to be concerned about this stuff. That there's other things that the cougars would be concerned about, such as they might be showing an interest in the escaped convict trying to run through our backyard, getting stuck in the 3 feet of product, but the cougar would be interested in them, not in us.
It sounds like you know Tim well.
I think we do.
That's great. So I'm here on the street with Heather Gibson, and Heather, I wanted to ask you, what do you most appreciate about Pastor Tim?
Definitely Susan.
And Heather, you come to Westside Bible Church. Why do you like Westside? What do you like about Westside?
I really appreciate just that you can just be so real and be yourself, and yeah, you're just accepted for who you are, and I love Pastor Tim, just who he is.
So we're here with Linda Cooper, and Linda, I would like to ask you a couple questions. You know it's Pastor Appreciation Sunday, and we're all thinking about what we most appreciate about Pastor Tim. And let me ask you that. What do you most appreciate about Pastor Tim?
Oh, Susan, of course. Just let me think. I'd like to just talk to Pastor Tim. Hello, hi, Pastor Tim. I'd like to just talk to you about your sermons a little bit. One thing I noticed about your sermons is that you never get angry, except if it's got to do with fruit flies. Then you get a little passionate. You're never condescending, but you're always very wise. You're humorous. First of all, you love to make fun of yourself, and especially when it comes to do with your eyesight and reading scripture. And you're very passionate about your sermons. And I have to say that some of your sermons have given me a swift kick in the butt, and some of your sermons have touched my heart deeply. So thank you for your services all these years, and I hope that you're going to be with us many more years. I love you, Pastor Tim.
We have here the owner of Gay Lee Farms, and would you like to tell us about your best customer?
Well, it would be Pastor Tim, of course. He comes to sit amongst the orange pumpkins to write his sermons. Of course. He gets quite distracted when there's a bee, and it takes him a bit longer.
And could you tell me who you are, please?
Ian Walker.
Ian, okay. And where do you work?
Western Speedway.
Oh, so do you know Tim Davis?
I don't think so.
He goes by the name Pastor of Disaster?
Oh, right. Yeah, I know him. He's one of my best clients.
One of your best clients? Oh, what do you do at the Speedway?
I serve beer. He's a heavy drinker out there.
Make that root beer.
If you were kidnapped and you had to decide between the SWAT force or Pastor Tim, who would you choose?
Pastor Tim? Pastor Tim.
If you're gonna be stranded on an island with one person, who would it be?
Pastor Tim.
Who is your hero in life?
I don't know. It's either Spider-Man or Pastor Tim.
Who do you look up to?
God. But Pastor Tim is up there, too.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you!
Oh, come on, guys. Like you mean it. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you!
I still can't hear you. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you!